about James Corden. He has got into a lot of trouble after the owner of his restaurant he frequents in New York, Balthazar, been there, it's really nice, complained that he had been an abusive customer after some errors with his orders and food brought out to his wife. He later revealed the star had since called and apologised profusely, but only yesterday we saw James Corden actually admitting that yes, he had indeed been rude and ungracious to a waiter. Let's talk about this with James Chiavarini. He's director of owner of Il Portico, London's oldest family-run restaurant. Good morning to you, James.
Good morning, Julia. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining me. I spent many years waitressing. I even was assistant manager of a restaurant for about 6 months as well. Seen it all, heard it all, and dealt with those customers. It sounds like James Corden was doing an awful lot of "do you know who I am? Everyone here's an idiot." I'm all in favour of getting good service, and if you get bad service, you should complain about it. It sounds like he went well over the line, though.
Yes, I mean, there's ways to complain, obviously, and there's ways to treat people. I mean, and what's really interesting for me about this story, Julia, is that a lot of the vitriol that was directed at him is because it happened in New York and it happened in a restaurant where in America they tend to respect waiters and they tend to respect hospitality workers a lot more than we do in this country. And I think they're absolutely right to bar him. I mean, if people are abusive to you, then you shouldn't have to stand for it. I don't see any reason why you should. You wouldn't do that to a doctor or nurse. Why should you do that to somebody making your dinner?
No, indeed. I mean, I've had enough rude customers. The old customer may or may not have had an ice bucket strategically dropped on them. It's amazing how slippery those things are. I've always found over the years.
Servers and chefs always find a way to get their own back eventually.
Yeah, if you're going to be rude, wait until you've got your food is my top tip. But it's a very interesting attitude because I've found I waitressed in New York as well. So I've actually been to Balthazar. I mean, it's a really nice restaurant. But when I waitressed in New York, I found it was very different from waitressing in the UK, where people often really talk down to you as waiting staff, think you're sort of beneath them. I've been absolutely stunned by how I've been treated by some people. In New York, they just assume like, oh, you're doing a job. In the same way in France, you're doing a job, you're treated very respectfully, and I haven't seen that. So it's actually quite unusual for people to treat waiting staff in America like that.
Yes, and I think that's why this story is running and running, because it's such an unusual experience, and I think that's why they barred him. I think in the UK there is a higher, maybe it's a hangover from our class system, from the feudal system, who knows? But also in the UK we don't celebrate success enough. We don't celebrate hard work enough. Yeah. In America, and you know what? It's a tough. You've done this. You know what it's like. It's a tough job.
I've had a chef throw a saucepan at me through a kitchen window. I ducked, luckily. It's a tough job at both ends, the way to stuff. And often you're dealing with stuff that the kitchen's done wrong. You're very junior. You can't do anything about a lot of it.
No, and you know what? And mistakes happen, and 99% of the time they are honest mistakes, and these things happen. And if you're going to kick off and throw your toys out of a pram because a mistake was happened because there was a bit of egg yolk in your egg white omelette, I mean, really, is that the most important?
Although he says his wife is allergic. He says, I'm allergic to cumin. I really can't have cumin. I have to go straight to the hospital. So, but again, it does sound like he's been a bit of a, and he's now having to pay the penalty. James Chiavarini, lovely to talk to you. We've all got group office trip to Il Portico, I think, is definitely on the cards, isn't it not?